name is Cheri Jacobson. I'm the president of the Trinidad Los Animas County Chamber of Commerce. It is my pleasure to welcome you all here tonight to meet the candidates. The Trinidad Los Animas Chamber of Commerce was established back in 1881. We have been hosting the Meet the Candidates night for over 25 years, almost 30. Dennis Malone, who was a local attorney and was also a president of the Chamber of Commerce, took it over from the group that had been doing it before. And ever since then, the Chamber of Commerce has been hosting this evening. Also tonight, on the side and out in the lobby, you will notice our ambassadors. They're all wearing red. They are our pages for this evening. So if you have questions that you would like to ask of a particular candidate or about an issue, go ahead and put it on the index card that was given to you, or if you don't have one yet, one of the ambassadors can give that to you. They will also be collecting them, and they will be presenting them up front here to our media panel. We will be taking a break about halfway through, and coffee and refreshments are out in the lobby. As a housekeeping note, please keep the refreshments and water and coffee out there. It is not allowed in the auditorium. This evening we've got Tom Murphy from Trinidad Times TV 71. It's a YouTube channel. He'll be video recording this evening's event. And we also have Garrett Watson and Rich Hoffman, who are reporting on tonight's event. So they're reporting so that they can properly report. I would also like to introduce at this time our media panel. We have Eli DeBono from KCRT, Bill Knowles from the World Journal, and Kirk Loudon from the Chronicle News. Our timekeeper this evening is Andrew Hoffman of Edward Jones. He's also one of our ambassadors. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you this evening our moderator, Cy Michaels. Cy is a local business owner and Los Animas County cheerleader. She also is the 2018 Chenoweth Award winner. So please welcome her. Cy is going to be doing the moderating, and she'll be keeping things on track along with our timekeeper. Thank you.
Thanks everybody, and thanks for coming tonight. First, we'd like for everyone to know that everyone that was running was given the opportunity to participate. So those that are not present chose not to come. Each group sharing on ballot issues will be given 3 minutes to share their issue. When their time is up, the timekeeper will ring the bell. At 2 minutes and 45 seconds, he will do sort of a half bell. And then we will move on to the next group. And audience, again, thank you so much for coming. The Chamber, thank you so much for doing this every year for our community. Everybody in here will be given the opportunity to participate by writing down your questions for the candidates on little pieces of paper, as Cheri said, and they will be brought up here. So just raise your hand if you need, at any point, a writing instrument and a piece of paper, and one of the ambassadors will come over and make sure you get one. Please use your questions respectful and to the point so there's no confusion. Same thing will happen with each candidate. They will be given 3 minutes for their opening statement, and then the candidates will answer questions from the panel. All the questions and answers are asked for the answers to be limited to 1 minute. After the questions to the candidates, each candidate will be given 3 minutes at the end for a closing statement in case you remembered something you want to wrap up with. Finally, there is no food or drink in this auditorium. We will have that short intermission that Cheri talks about And we're just all here to enjoy the night and watch our community grow. Thank you, everybody. And for the first one, we will call up Trinidad City Council, Rusty Goodall. He'll be talking about the referendum 2B, the capital improvement.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for coming out. So I am here tonight to ask you to vote yes on 2B. To be clear, 2B is a capital improvement 1% sales tax extension. So since 2014, the city has spent over $13 billion in capital improvement projects, $5.6 million which was derived from grant funds where we leveraged the money for matching grants. The city has budgeted over $5 million for projects in 2019 alone. Past and upcoming projects include work on Santa Fe Trail, Central Park restroom facility replacement, Central Park grandstand replacement so that we can meet ADA compliance, development of new roads in town. We have many more federally mandated ADA compliance projects, curb cuts, and stuff along these lines. We have completed the Wagon Tails dog park, tennis court renovation at the golf course, relocation and renovation of the police headquarters, the Riverwalk pedestrian bridge, citywide LED street lighting, commercial street public restroom, and the restroom at the Central Park will be very similar to this restroom. We have done multiple upgrades at Monument Lake, the bathhouse, and many other things. And we have the fully funded Space to Create project downtown for $19 million, which we used capital improvement money part for the city's partial buy-in on that. One thing I want to be clear on, that the marijuana tax dollars everybody talks about, why do we need our capital improvement tax, is a totally different fund and is generally limited to immediate community needs or expenditures where CIP funds cannot be used. Example of these have been when we bring in the AmeriCorps trail builders to work with building new trails that we have around town, downtown horticulture projects, the new period lighting downtown, including the Christmas lights where we put the LED lights downtown so we're able to leave them on year round, so it's a lower cost to the city. Well-deserved employee bonuses that had not been possible for years, and supplement funding of many outside entities, including the Trinidad Yo Blues Fest, the Trinidad Youth Club, and SCRT. With the passing of 2B, we hope this happens. We have budgeted for 2021, 22, 23, and 24, approximately $2 million a year to be spent to help with capital improvements throughout Trinidad. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rusty. Our second speaker tonight, representative of Referendum 4B, Bonnie Aaron and Paul Montera.
Thank you. On behalf of the Trinidad School District #1 Board of Education, I thank the Chamber of Commerce and all of you for the opportunity to speak with you about the BEST grant and the board's support for this ballot issue.
Trinidad School District #1 has been awarded a Building Excellent Schools Today grant of $11 million. The total project cost is $15.5 million. And TSD1 will pay only $4.5 million, or 29% of the total project cost. How would you like that kind of a deal to renovate your home? Where do we get $4.5 million? The great news is we can provide our share with no change in the mill levy sequence currently in place. This is because our current bond that built Fisher's Peak Elementary School will be paid off in 2020, and with ballot issue 4B, we are asking the taxpayers in our district to continue paying a mill levy in the same manner as they have paid for the past 20 years. No change. Why should you support the ballot issue? Trinidad School District Number 1 buildings belong to us, all the citizens in our school district. We built them, and it is our responsibility to take care of them. And even more important, the children of Trinidad are our future and deserve a healthy, safe learning environment with the same technology available to as the children in the metro schools.
Now, what will happen if we do not support this bond issue? Well, first of all, the $11 million will go back to the state and they'll give it to another school. Furthermore, you send a clear message to the children of Trinidad. You're not worthy of an updated, safe, secure place to learn. Now, you may ask, why didn't you upgrade the facilities through the years? Well, this is due to the negative factor. This is a method that they balance the state budget with. And all school districts lost funding over the last 11 years. Our school district lost over $12 million in state revenue. And this grant is just a wonderful way for us to get most of that back. And the ruin mill in Trinidad, it also runs rampant. We've heard that if we pass this bond, Trinidad School District Number 1 will use the money for whatever they want. Well, that, by law, cannot happen. Furthermore, the ballot language is such that it specifies exactly where the money will be used in our facilities. And there's at least one individual in the community telling people that the bond will increase taxes. That's simply not true. The sequence of mill levy assessment will remain the same as it has been for the last 20 years. It is shameful that they dislike the children of Trinidad that much. Thank you.
Great news, guys.
The next we will have Trinidad Ambulance District Referendum 6A. And Dan Moynihan will be up. Great issues, huh, guys?
I'm here just as a concerned citizen, since I can't represent the district. And I just know, I think everybody can remember, we had some oil and gas revenues that came in for many years. And the last of which I saw, I guess around 2013, as far as the district was concerned. And it seems to me that I can remember the courthouse being closed, county workers being on furlough because a lot of the assessed value of the property had decreased, and the amount of taxes that were collected weren't meeting the expenditure. Well, it appears to be what's going on now. So it looks to me what the district is asking for is to go back to the 2010 levels of taxes. So I think a $100,000 house would bring the average tax from $21 to $40. Those ambulances are about $230,000 to $250,000 a piece. The cardiac monitors are about $35,000. The federal government required that the stretchers in the ambulances be upgraded, and those are about, I hate to say it, they're about $60,000 a piece. But when everything has to go through FDA clearance, that's kind of what you're looking at. So yes, it is a tax increase. That's a bad thing. Nobody wants to pay more taxes. But the bottom line is that the amount that the district collects would not exceed what it collected in 2010. If there is more construction in the town, the board has the ability to lower the tax, and I'm sure that that's what they would do. We just want to make sure that we can keep the same level of service to advanced life support ambulances, responding within the district 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have a third crew that's on call, and we put about 100,000 miles a year on the ambulances just in interfacility transfers out of Mount St. Raphael Hospital. Also, when we had the sales tax for public safety, And I think everybody remembers they got a little flyer for that, and on the front of it was a picture of an ambulance crew wheeling somebody into the emergency department. In reality, the ambulance district gets nothing from that public safety tax at all. That's going to go to predominantly the district attorney's office, and I think some of it may end up with the sheriff's office. But the ambulance district doesn't get any of those revenues at all. So again, it's just going from 2010, almost 2020, keep those levels, bring them back to the 2010 levels. Thank you.
And now for Primero, Senate Bill 152. And Rick Garrison will be speaking on that.
Hello everyone, my name is Rick Garrison. I'm the IT Director with Primero School District. The reason I'm here with you today is to ask for your support in opting out of Senate Bill 152 with Referendum 1A. Senate Bill 152 restricts local governments from providing subscribers to cable television, core infrastructure, telephone communications, internet, high-speed internet specifically, which we are in a major deficit in this area. By opting out, the local governments can help seek additional funding through departments such as DOLA, Department of Local Affairs, and make our communities just a better place in general. Not only will this help all school districts, it'll help us become compliant with the FCC's guidelines of at least 1 megabit per second per student, which is what is projected for this year. Next year, that projection goes up an additional 15%. In order to maintain this, we need to have better infrastructure than what we have. Most importantly about Referendum 1A, there are no additional taxes or increased taxes. It's all federal funds. So it's just us being able to apply for grants, get the additional funding to build the infrastructure that needs to be in place in order for our schools to compete not only with local schools, but metropolitan schools. We're at a major disadvantage. In Denver, your home-based internet is gigabit speeds. We don't have that here. It's impossible to get that. And right now, the way that the government is running, we're starting to see taxes on businesses that are trying to build these core infrastructures and they're just not willing to do it. So being able to utilize these core grants and core partnerships, I think will help the community in general and help us produce quality students, make students that can compete with the people in metropolitan areas. I think that's all I really got, not a whole lot. So, any questions? No? All right.
And now for Los Animas County Democrats, Proposition CC-Paula, Ozzello.
It's good to see the good turnout here tonight, and I thank Los Animas County Trinidad Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event because it puts out more information to our local communities. I am speaking in support of CC Retain State Government Revenue. Basically, it'll allow the state government to keep all the money it collects from existing resources every year, beginning in the 2019-2020 state budget. What the bottom line is when the cap was put on this 20-some years ago, we've had inflation since then. And the cost of K through 12 higher education and transportation have gone up considerably, but the budgets have not matched it. And so without the ability to increase the funding, these three vital state services, most of it, the quality is not there anymore. If we can unlock the funding for all of our local school districts to attract and retain better teachers. It's our time to invest in their future. Colorado has one of the top economies in the country, but spends $2,703 less per student than the national average. We are ranking below some of the poorest states in the nation. Colorado teachers make 40% less than the average salary in this state, and it's one of the largest pay gaps in the United States. With Proposition CC, we can also make community colleges like our own, very own Trinidad State Junior College more affordable for students. They can look at offering more training skills classes. It's just a win for them. And our junior college is one of our gems of the community. They're community leaders. They produce community leaders. And through this, it can open the door. One thing I know that concerns people is, and I want to make clear, this does not affect your personal income tax that you pay in right now. Those funds are separate, and quickly to make this happen. But anyway, there's a flyer back there, and there's more information, and hopefully everybody can support it because it's a win for our country.
Our next speaker will be Los Animas County Republicans, Proposition CC, Propositions DD, Ty Winter.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to see everybody out this evening. The county party, I'd like to thank the chamber for putting this on. It's great to see. I mean, it is our job to get civically involved, so it's great to see everybody out here this evening. The Los Animas County Republican stance on CC is a no. Proposition CC will permanently repeal the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, or TABOR. The Taxpayer Bill of Rights puts limits on revenue surpluses and mandates the state return any money to Colorado citizens collected above the budget. Supporters of CC say the surplus funds would be spent on higher education, public schools and roads, areas that we would all like to see improvements. But that's where the deception lies. Is this just a ploy to buy votes? K.C. Becker, Democratic Speaker of the House, admitted during a committee hearing earlier this year that there is no guarantee as where Prop CC's money will go in the future. The Democrats' tool of deception is aimed to persuade compassionate citizens to hand them over a blank check so they can spend at will, all while you forfeit your right to vote on taxes, debt, and excess spending increases. Why should you vote no on CC? It's a tax increase anytime the government keeps any more of your money. CC aims to backfill the lost revenue as a result of oil and gas laws passed by Democratic legislature. The state government refuses to prioritize Colorado's needs. We talked about education earlier. Let's use that as an example. Despite a 20% increase in education spending since 1990, teacher pay is down 20%. The same Democratic legislature that just blew through $32 billion in the last session is asking you to vote away your right to keep them in check and not give them free rein in your wallet. Now the bill for what they have promised and passed is coming due, and they need money to pay for it. How are they going to get that money? By keeping your TABOR refunds forever. Vote no on Proposition CC. Every family in Colorado lives within a budget and shows to the state of Colorado. Also DD, that's the water issue that you guys are seeing on TV for rural Coloradoans. The Cattlemen's Association, as well as the Farm Bureau and a lot of other agricultural industrial leaders, they're getting behind DD. The Colorado's population is expected to double by 2060, and at current usage rates, our water supply will not keep up with that growth. With these pressures mounting, it is critical that we conserve and protect our water resources to ensure that there is enough water for everyone. Proposition DD implements a $29 million tax on casinos, sport betting proceeds to fund a systematic and bipartisan effort to preserve Colorado's water future. A small portion of the revenue from the tax will be used to regulate and enforce gaming, and the vast majority of proceeds, 93% in all, will be used as down payment to fund Colorado's water plan. 30 years ago, Colorado created a lottery and used its proceeds to pay for parks and open space through the Great Outdoors Colorado program. Proposition DDs allow the GoCo model by using proceeds from tax or casino sport betting to protect and conserve our water resources. So, Los Angeles County Republican Party is a yes on DD. Thank you and God have a great evening.
Okay, now we're on to the school board candidates. There's one from Primero and 3 from Trinidad. Laura Saint from Primero. She'll go first.
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Welcome.
Well, thank you all for having me. Right now, I'm the president of the school board serving in Primero, so now I'm up for re-election. I'm proud to say we have accomplished very many good things at our school. We have a new security guard, and he patrols at the school all day, and we have security cameras in place 24/7. Let's see what else. We're in the process of finishing our bond, and we're going to have a brand new gymnasium, and we have new technology within our school. And Mr. Garrison was talking about the internet, and that's a very important part of what our school district is trying to accomplish. So we have the latest technology for our children to learn. And I am wanting to continue to serve on the boards because I felt like I haven't done everything I'm set out to accomplish. And I hope everybody supports and likes what we're doing at the school. I'm proud to say that when we did our testing, we came in at 73.3, and we need 74 to be a school of distinction again. And we're well towards that goal. So thank you, and thank you for your support.
Jeremy Machioni for Trinidad. I'm sorry, he's not here. Ed Romero from Trinidad. If all the school board wants to speak, yeah. Sorry, just 2 of you.
There's 4 seats. 3 seats, and 2 of us are here, so
Yeah. So they win.
Yes. So.
Well, you guys want to go? So you'll need to get an answer. So Ed, you'll go ahead and go first.
All right, first of all, I think Laura came here to brag about her school a little bit. So I'm going to start with what I got. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone from the Chamber of Commerce, TSGC, and anyone else who had involvement in putting this event together tonight. My name is Ed Romero, and I'm running for a seat on the school board for Trinidad School District number 1. I graduated from Raton High in 1996. All you mighty miners, don't hold that against me. I became a resident of Trinidad in 1997. This is where I met my best friend and lifelong partner, Amanda Romero. We've been married for 14 years. I know that's a long time, and I look younger. Amanda is a lifelong resident of Trinidad. We're proud parents of 2 boys, Andreas, who is currently attending Trinidad Middle School, and Jeremiah, who is currently attending Fisher's Peak Elementary. For the past 20 years, I've spent my career working in our local methane gas field. I started from the bottom and moved my way up to an operations foreman. I've been an operations foreman for the past 4 years. As an operations foreman, I have 16 direct employees, multiple third-party contractors. I've been involved in bidding processes, budgeting, invoicing, purchasing, and safety of all employees. That's a big one, safety of everybody, making sure everybody goes home. Lost my spot, sorry guys. I have also volunteered coaching multiple youth sports, which was fun dealing with small children. I was also active on the Fisher's Peak Parent Lighthouse team, where I learned about the Leader in Me program, which is a program that teaches 7 habits of creating a leadership program for all ages. That was also the year the school did reach Lighthouse status, which was a great accomplishment for them. I've chosen to run because of the multiple challenges the school board currently faces, for securing and sustaining teachers, budgeting, technology, safety, and any other issues that may arise. I'm hoping to work with the school board to come up with solutions for the children and staff. That's all I've got on that. For questions?
Mr. Romero, how would you handle the request approached by an individual interest group?
The way you handle a request, if you're on a school board, you don't handle those requests because they have to go to the school board, and I wouldn't have, by law, I would not be able to answer questions for them directly. Everything would have to go through the process, and it had to be in a public meeting. That's all on that.
Mr. Romero, good education is delivered by teachers, and good teachers are usually the ones that stick around for a while. Not necessarily, but recruitment and retainment of teachers enhances the educational experience of students. You got a plan that would look at recruitment and retention of teachers.
Oh, so that was part of my top 3 items: securing and sustaining teachers. So that's really important because we don't have a lot of teachers in Colorado that want to teach in the first place. We're short on teachers. So the plan is to come up with ways to show them more appreciation, to keep them with us. I lost my train of thought. Improve morale for them, but we can't do this without the funding. Money is the biggest issue right now for our school. That best grant, we definitely need that to pass to do what we want to do for our teachers. That's all I got.
Eli DeBono, KCRT Radio. What attributes do you believe are essential for successful school board members?
Attributes is being there on time for meetings, being part of the meetings, doing your homework before the meetings, going through the agendas and all that before your meetings actually occur. That way you know what the topics are going to be. If you got any issues that need to happen before the meeting on the agenda, you can reach out to people and ask the appropriate questions so you have answers, so there's no arguments in the meetings, and they're just working as a team. That's all I got on that. Next. Here's my closing statement. On November 5th, if elected as a member of the Trinidad Board of Education, I promise I will ask in-depth questions about policies and programs so that we, as a community, understand the value they will bring to the classroom. I will encourage the proposal of new initiatives to improve the education of our children. I will listen to and reflect the concerns of our community and work as a team with fellow board members to improve our schools. Thank you.
And now we're going to ask James Sanchez to come up and running for school board for Trinidad 2. And then the media will ask him questions. At this point, if any of you want to ask either one of the candidates that are here tonight any questions, it's time to raise your hand and let any of the runners or the ambassadors from the chamber